Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Today is 27th September 2025. It's a very important day to us as much as this our press release is concerned. This is the voice of Togben. As usual, we are here to release this statement to the whole world, especially from the Western Togoland to Gold Coast, Ghana, United Nations, AU, ECOWAS, etc. Now, why are we making this statement? I hope you all know that there's an impending issue that is hovering between the Western Togoland and that of and Ghana. So we believe that every meaningful person or body will take this our statement into consideration. As I read, or as I start, independence for the people of Western Togoland, because Ghana and Britain had craftily and forcefully made them Ghanaian for the past 68 years. Forward, take our land and run with us out of the past called yesterday, and walk with us into the future of tomorrow. Yesterday must be forgotten. No looking back, no matter what. There is nothing there but memories of solid 70 years. But break sorrow. Yesterday is gone, but tomorrow is forever. Yes, this has been a very useful memory since our great grandfathers, mothers' days, till now. We the youth have never forgotten. United Nations should take our statements so serious. Britain claimed she had granted independence to the people of Western Togoland, and Ghana claimed she has been in a Republican union with West Togoland also. With all apologies, Ghana and Britain must answer the following questions appropriately. 1. What was West Togoland declared? When was West Togoland declared independence? 2. When exact date was West Togoland granted independence? What were the names of the British Togoland before and after her independence? If Ghana and Britain maintain that Ghana and West Togoland are in a Republican union, what was the union name agreed upon by the two states? 5. At what meeting and on what date did the council members of Ghana and Western Togoland sit to agree on a union document? Please, let me talk a bit about number 5. During those days, the Britain elects people as council members for the Gold Coast, and then council members for Western Togoland. They themselves had council already, and this council was supposed to meet all the time to deliberate over issues. But because the both council did not agree on union, they were always at a loggerhead to each other. The report that the missionaries wrote on the situation spelled it clear. But at the appropriate time, that one also come out. But Britain, bypassed all this council and took decision upon themselves and did what was wrong against the both sides. And the wrong thing that they did is what we are witnessing today. Now I continue. 6. Ghana and Western Togoland, not different states. Yes, very, very different. They were different states, and today they are still different. Where is the union agreement which the two states came out with? What was Ghana flag chosen by the two states? No, it was only decided upon by Ghana and Gold Coast alone. Does Ghana's national anthem written in the name of the two states? No. And does the flag reflect the heritage of the two states?
No.
All right, thank you. We continue to number 10. What's the Union Pledge or Constitution? Gold Coast chose to be called Ghana after independence. How does the name Ghana relate, symbolize any historical or cultural life of the people of Western Togoland? When and where did Britain supervise and effected any union of the two states? When did Britain unite the Council of Gold Coast, as I said earlier, and Western Togoland before Britain took decision with the CPP on the union between Ghana and Western Togoland and plebiscite? These are all questions that we have prepared for Britain to answer, including Ghana itself. Something like this, as a citizen, you shouldn't, sit on it. Take it that at first the information has not reached your attention. Now that it has reached you now, you must do anything necessary to redeem your land. And the copy that we used to talk about as the Transition Agreement, I can tell you that Britain had a copy because we used that to file our case at the UNPO level. I participated in that filing during the life of Papavi or Charles Kwame Kujoji. So I'm very much aware that it was due to some of this article that made Britain to sign our document on the 27th November 2025. I continued. We strongly believe that Ghana and Britain have no good answer to all the questions put to them above. With reference, the notification letter written and signed by Alan Noble, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs in the United Kingdom government, dated 6 March 1957 and accepted by Her Majesty accepted by the Majesty. We want to affirm the following. Yes, we want to affirm the following. That A. Britain had never arranged for any nor carried out unification process between Ghana and Western Togoland anywhere. B. That Britain had never effected any union between Ghana and Western Togoland. If Britain insists that she had carried out the above two processes, then she should prove the case with documents. We will therefore conclude that Britain had deceived and misled United Nations with the notification letter signed by Alan Noble and the Queen. Britain just waited. What they did, the trick British also used, or British used for Ghana or for Gold Coast, is what I'm going to read out, please, in the next paragraph. Britain just waited patiently after the plebiscite of 9th May 1956, whose results were declared on 10th May 1956 and the 6th of March 1957, when she came out with her notification letter of the UN General Assembly. All right. We would like to prove what we just read by bringing out the notification letter in due course. Non-ratification of the 1956 plebiscite by Britain. You should know that they have never ratified the plebiscite result. Till now, there's no any support or legal support for that plebiscite that they did. I continue. On 15th of December 1956, the United Nations General Assembly recommended that plebiscite be held in Western Togoland to determine whether the people of Western Togoland would go along with Ghana or not until such a time that their future could be determined. The UN resolution clearly stated that the people must be asked whether they accept union or separation. The plebiscite took place on the 10th of May 1956. The outcome of the plebiscite results were as follows. That one will not give you the result yourself, but you knew the result. But if you really want it, we will also provide that to you. But for now, listen to our case. I continue. Britain was instructed by the UN to implement or ratify the result of the plebiscite by effecting a union between Ghana and West Togoland. But Britain and Ghana ignored the instruction from the UN, but rather waited until the 6th of March when she released the notification letter of West Togoland under all circumstances. And up to date, Britain never ratified the result of the plebiscite. Because they knew very well that they will never ratify the result, as the press statement said, they waited patiently. Yes, they waited patiently. You know, in all the trick that they did, today they've never realized it those days that today we will what? Revoke all the wrong that they did to us. So below is the full text of the United Kingdom government. Document T/1301. Unfortunately, the one who is reading the statement, his name has not come or did not come. But we will now listen to the name properly. The name is Romeo Moti Patamia, aka Togbengini. I already told you all this, not today, but today we are putting it on record that we should quickly run to correct the old and these lasting mistakes. So I continue with the document T/1301, letter dated 6 March 1957, from the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, the United Kingdom government, to the Secretary General. New York, 6 March 1957. In accordance with Operative Paragraph 3 of General Assembly Resolution 1044, into brackets X1 of 30th December 1956, I have the honor to inform Your Excellency on behalf of Her Majesty's Government in the United Kingdom that, with effect from midnight on 5th/6 March 1957, under the terms of the Ghana Independence Act, into brackets 5th and 6th allies 11 chapter 6 bracket close, the territories previously comprised in the Gold Coast, kindly listen to the notification letter properly. I repeat that part. They said Independence Act 5th and 6th allies 11 chapter 6, the territories previously comprised in the Gold Coast became the independent state of Ghana. That was the what? The Fanti, the Ashanti, and the Northern Region Protectorate. That's the territory that they are talking about. Under the same act, the union of the former Trust Territory of British Togoland administration with the independent state of Ghana took place with effect from the same time and date. Have you got it? Please. Can a zero also be a number?
No.
Can a zero be a number?
No.
Can a zero be a number?
No.
Zero can never be a number.
At all.
And zero is never a number.
No.
So how can midnight be an Independence Day? So that is never a number. So it means that West Togoland have never had any independence. I continue. And this letter was signed by Alan Nobel, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs in the United Kingdom government. When they describe Gold Coast or Ghana, they mentioned only 3 territories. Only 3. That was the Fanti, the born of 1844, and then Ashanti through conquest, and then the Northern Region Protectorate. These things are in the social media right now. People have been talking about it, educating on it. Why is it that now the issue of the West Togoland has become an issue of the day, or topic of the day? It's because something great is happening. So you, the West Togolanders yourself, please do not fear anything. Come out boldly and let's move forward. But fortunately, the prophets also told us, and we are aware that when the time comes for independence, our enemies themselves will begin to blow the horns for us. And thank God for that matter. I continue on the notification letter. This notification letter from the United Kingdom government to the Secretary General of the United Nations is very authoritative and very positive in its definition of Ghana. Is Britain denying this letter? This of their authoritative letter. How can they deny it? How can they front their face on it instead of them to do the due diligence to the people?
Western Togoland.
I continue. For everybody in Ghana and British Togoland knows very well that the Gold Coast was made up of 3 separate territories, as I said, namely the colony, which was the Gold Coast, which the British acquired by the Treaty of 1844. That's the Fanti Gold Coast. The Ashanti, which they took by conquest. The war with the Ashantis, defeated them and added them to the people in the Gold Coast. And finally, the Northern Territories Protectorate, which they possessed by various treaties. those people, they automatically, gave themselves up to the what? The Gold Coast people, the Ashanti people, under the British, so that they will get relief or they will get protections. I continue. It also clearly points out the case of the national liberation movement of Western Togoland, that Togoland is never part of Ghana. If Togoland is never part of Ghana, then why are you people forcibly mining our mineral resources, stealing from us? That is actually a plain stealing, complete thievery.
Yeah.
I continue. And the administrative authority shall not discriminate on grounds of nationality against members of the United Nations or their nationals. Now, I continue. That was just a reference to the notification letter. Now I continue with the press statement. Berlin Conference in 1844. European countries met in Berlin, Germany, to divide Africa without a single African country. It was called the Berlin Conference. Leaders from 14 countries, Britain, France, Germany, among others, met to plan how to divide the African countries among themselves. The European countries came together to draw boundary and discuss how to claim African lands. Their goal was to avoid fighting each other while colonizing Africa. They create rules like the principles of occupation, which stated that you could only claim land if you control it. Indeed, they divided the entire Africa among themselves, ignoring the people who were actually living in it. The Berlin Conference led to years of exploitation and suffering in Africa, effect of which lasts today, and from which the big problem of the people of West Togoland had emerged. Now, Gold Coast. Gold Coast was made up of 3 separate territories, namely the colony, the Ashanti, and the Northern territories. This one will continue to mention it all the time. Even if you are sleeping, we will still mention it because we knew the boundary between us. I continue. The colony was acquired by Britain by the Treaty of 1844. She took Ashanti by conquering and possessed the northern territories by various treaties. Togoland. The colonization of Togoland began in 1844 when Germany established a protectorate to the country, which was later called Modern Colony. For its efficiency and self-funding through local taxation, it is also known for its infrastructure development. Germany trained various artisans who have benefited Ghana today. During World War I, in 1914, Britain and French forces invaded and occupied the protectorate. After the war, the protectorate was divided into mandated territories under French and British rules. In 1916, the territories was divided into separate Britain and French administration, and this was formalized in 1922 with the creation of British Togoland. New boundary from the sea through Bong Barrier, Afienya, Misheka, part of Dodowa, Late, greater part of Koforidua, Unkwakwa up to the north. You see, keep on talking about 1922 boundary. It was not a hearsay, it was well documented. And the 2021 work that we did, also we picked the same no boundary, which was in 1922. The press we are reading or we are releasing right now, we kindly employ a Dan, Krobos, Latte. We kindly want all of you to take consent or to take interest in it, because we are all part of the struggle for British Togoland. This is the western part of the Togoland that went under British administration after the land was divided between French and Britain. The Western Togoland was under the administration of the United Kingdom, which was later integrated into modern Ghana in 1957 forcefully. Now, we had a very fortunate issue this year. That was about the AU's declaration, which Excellency John Dramani Mahama went to declare. He stated something, and what he said has actually benefited us a lot. It means that everybody believes in independence or self-sufficiency. So, can you listen to the following? AU's declaration for 2025. It is just timely and a good opportunity for the people of West Togoland that the African Union all has declared this year, 2025, as the year for justice for Africans and the people of African descent. In support of the AU's declaration, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the current President of Ghana, in his speech in Addis Ababa, remarked the following: "For too long, the legacy of slavery, colonization, and non-colonization had cast a long shadow on the lives and progress of many Africans and people of African descent." His Excellency John Dramani Mahama continued to affirm that for justice to be set, nations and institutions responsible for inflicting these wounds must acknowledge those profound and enduring damage inflicted on our people. In line with all the above claims, the time has come for Ghana to accept that she has inflicted and continues to inflict serious wounds and damages on the people of West Togoland. Following this, the AU, as the highest institution in Africa, with its 54 heads of state, needs to grab and rightly persuade the claims and demand for the people of West Togoland, according to the Strategic Agreement reference. Now, let's bring the Strategic Agreement in due course. The Strategic Agreement will come in full, so patiently listen to me. When the time comes, we'll bring it up. The AU is therefore called upon to come in to act in order to set justice which will lead to the restoration of identity, dignity, and the sovereignty of the people of West Togoland. For the past 68 years, the people of West Togoland have been buried in Ghana. Ghana has overshadowed the people of West Togoland in that the land has lost her identity on both the African map and the world map. Why? The loss of identity of these people have led to loss of value of the people. It is universally known that anything, any human being, and any state, stroke country, stroke nation that has no identity We refer you to the late Charles Kwame Kujoji Papavi's information received from the Attorney General's Department, Ghana government, on the research conducted on the illegalities of the Ghana, West Togoland unification and independence. Let us all listen to the following. Yes, when we say Papavi, we all knew who Papavi was and the work he also did. He did the truth, and according to what he left, some of his work that he left, we would like to bring it to the hearing of the rest who had never heard it before. He said the truth. Sir, Ghana government has no legal right to divide the land, or which was not still part of Ghana and will never be part of Ghana. Therefore, Ghana government has no hand in its activities. For the country is known and called Western Togoland. This was confirmed by the former Attorney General letter under the former President John Ajekun Kufuor. That was in 2008. We shall respectively refer all and sundry to it as follows. That this letter that we are going to read was a research report, was a research information that the former Attorney General under John Ajekun Kufuor got. I continue. That there appears to be no legal or constitutional backing for the so-called union. There's no constitution. There's no union act in their constitution. That's what he's talking about. There was no law that bind West Togoland and Ghana or both together. It is never found in their constitution. That's what he's talking about here. It is evident that there is no legal backing in this regard from Attorney General Office, Accra, dated on 17th July 2008. This part, I've been reading it over and over again to everybody, so I believe it has reached actually everyone on the land. 1. I am not sure that there was a Union Act. Ghana's Attorney General letter of 17th of July 2008, reference SLR 35/2008, bracket close. 2. Please be informed that we didn't find anything in our database regarding a Ghana British Togoland Union Act. It means that this act has never been registered. It means that they have never registered it. It has never been established. It has never been recorded. You see, into brackets, UN Office of Legal Affairs, Tuesday, June 3rd, 2008. 3. UNDP. Ghana does not have a copy of any document establishing the Ghana Togoland Union. UN Office, Resident Coordinator, Stroke, Accra, Ghana, April 30, 2008. I'm giving you all the references. I'll give you the references. You can go and find out. Unless they remove all this from their archives. But we have it in our archives. 4. We have considered the issue you have raised, and it is apparent that we fulfill our UN mandate to British Togoland. Into bracket, UK Foreign and Commonwealth Office Letter, 15th August 2008. Note that the British government has, as usual, tactfully invaded the issue about the Union Act. So what are you people waiting for to get our independence for us? Have you not recognized or respect your whole Attorney General's office anymore? This is the Ghana's Attorney General who reported this on the union issues between Western Togoland and Ghana. And up to date, nobody sees this as anything important for them to what? To act upon. And I am not surprised when the former president in 2023 went to celebrate the independence in Western Togoland, telling the people that they knew that our issues were true, but they have to sit, we have to sit down again. What are we sitting down again for? When your own research report is telling us that there was nothing between us. We don't have any relationship when it comes to union. What do you people want us to sit for? Let me continue. 5. On the other hand, if no mutually agreed and acceptable union document exists and cannot be produced, then the joining of the territory of Togoland to Ghana in 1957 was illegal and remained illegal, and in fact constitutes forcible occupation on annexation of Togoland by Ghana, an act which amounts to colonialism. How? How on earth should a black man also colonize his fellow black? So we are writing up so seriously. Sir, with this, I'm sure that every reader of this will agree with us that government of Ghana has no legal backing whatsoever to tamper with the activities of Western Togoland today, tomorrow, or forever. Yeah. All right, that was the reference. I gave you the reference, and I believe each one of you, every listener, will consider it appropriately. I continue. Lighting up the truth about Western Togoland. 1. Ghanaians highly discriminate against the people of Western Togoland. 2. The people of Western Togoland are treated in Ghana as second-class citizens. 3. Western Togoland has been treated as a child of Ghana for decades. 4. Successive government of Ghana continues to tap the resources of Western Togoland but use the proceeds to develop itself. You know, when you go to the land, all our forest has been depleted by these chainsaw operators, including the government itself. They took all our timbers and coal. Even in the water lake, they are uprooting the long-lasting trees that we have in the rivers, and then in the lakes. Why? Consider the waters. They supply water to the nearby areas, even to Accra, Tema, Ashama, and Co. But in the land itself, we don't have water for the people. Akosobo electricity They took it away from us, charging us high every month. Look at the sort of treatment that they have been giving us. Even now, they started selling our waters as well to foreigners, which is yet to come. So we go to number 5. Western Togoland roads looks like obstacle courses. Roads are not fixed for farmers to move their goods to the nearby markets. Hospitals in the Western Togoland always run out of supply, and patients have to bring their own supply. There has been job drought in Western Togoland for many years since Ghana's independence. Western Togoland youth are educated, skilled, and ready to grind, but job opportunities scare them due to discrimination and favoritism against them with their identity. 10. No investment of local industries. No single factories can be located in the land, and the people cannot boast on any single factory in the land. 11. University graduates are selling airtime in the streets. Go and find out. You will get it. 12. The fishing industries in the Western Togoland is collapsing fast at the local fisheries level. 13. Farmers cannot get markets and fair prices for their produce. Foreigner level has taken over all lakes and rivers due to the construction of both Akosobo Dam and the Akuse Dam. Sand winning has become the ultimate business for both the local people and the Chinese/Lebanese migrants at these unfortunate areas. Chinese and Lebanese migrants. It's true. For example, for the whole cocoa season of 2024, no single cocoa purchasing sheet opened for farmers to sell their cocoa beans. Farmers had to sell their cocoa beans to middlemen for them to export to the neighboring countries, Togo, Burkina Faso, and others. Any cocoa purchasing clerk who disputes this claim should kindly come forward with his truth or leaders to disprove the allegations. It means that any purchasing clerk that thinks or that believes that what we are saying here is not true, we should bring a challenge. We are ready to confront him. Despite the fact that there are many attractive tourism centers in the West Togoland, every successful government failed to develop our eco-tourists to create more jobs for the people in the country. Our youth are being enlisted into the Ghana's secret services and have always been sent to the war front. Again, they have been all the time demoted instead of promotion due to little mistakes or nothing. Also, forced retirements are sometimes being their punishment. Why? Are they not normal forces within your secret services? In fact, in their ministries, Ghana, the wrongful allegations exhibit against the Western Togolanders are many. For example, the allegations against the Auditor General, Dominovo, by the Ghana government, the earlier comply law order, prohibited organization decree under the Ashampo government, etc. Those are the examples that we are trying to cite. If you like, pick the informations, and come back to challenges. And I know very well that as much as information reaches to you, you by all means swing yourself into the social media just to answer this hot release. But we will meet you boot to boot when the time comes. But the time is yet to come. So prepare yourself. All of you, prepare yourself.
Yeah.
The youth in the Western Togoland always run to Accra, Kumasi, and other urban areas in search of jobs. Villages have no good drinking water. Even till now, the villages in the West Togoland are lacking drinking water. Schools are with broken desks, and there are no textbooks when parents have to provide their own supplies, especially. No West Togoland textbooks in the Ghana Education Service. Also, we are referring you to the Golden English book and the Golden History book written in the past years by some Ghanaian writers recently. Unforgettable evidence. Teacher, you are a teacher among us. Do you have broken desks in your schools?
We do have.
Thank you. Western Togoland is so rich but still poor. People believe to eat from the wealth they produce. Western Togoland brags of its riches, but its people still live in abject poverty. It is a land of poverty paradox. Normally people say Volta region is the poorest. Volta region we are poor. Who caused it to be poor?
Ghana people.
So, indeed, we are the poverty paradox. West Togoland has everything. Fertile lands, beautiful beaches, fishy waters, very attractive tourist centers, vibrant culture, and even untapped minerals, which is making them irate. I continue. In reality, the land should be boiling, but many families live on less than $2 a day. Cocoa farmers work from sunrise to sunset, yet their profits are taken up by middlemen. Fishermen cast their nets in rivers and lakes, only to catch big country scoop up the rear catch. The government sold our lands and rivers to foreigners for fish farming, making the local people jobless. For example, these farmers are always fighting and shooting the locally poor fishermen who are also doing their local fishing. This evidence These incidents normally happened especially around Alabo, Ashari, and Akusi areas. Meanwhile, all these areas mentioned above are located along the Volta River. Their main occupation are mainly fishing and farming. Yeah, you see, this side is very, very painful. The people of Alabo, Ashari, Akusi, and Co, their main occupation is what? Fish. Actually, most of them fish about 70 to 80%. That's fishing. The rest, rice farming or sugarcane farming. They have rented this whole water, this river, and these foreigners have taken almost more than half of the river, where the people, pass or fish. And anytime they see the youth around these areas, then they begin to shoot them. The security services have, supported these people, and they are molesting our own people in these areas, which is a very, very a painful issue. Who is there to fight for us? Who is there to fight for this youth?
Yes.
And when you go to the village right now, most of these youth have migrated from the area. They left their villages, they left their houses, going to seek help or job from unknown areas. Is it fair?
No.
It looks like the wealth of West Togoland is locked off in a safe and only outsiders have the key. While the people of the land feed Ghana, but they are left hungry. The little money left by tourists find their way out of the country and do not reach the people. In West Togoland, the land is rich, but the people are always robbed. Politicians in West Togoland. During elections, politicians from the two major political parties in Ghana, NDC and NPP especially, fly into the country with their smiles and fly into the country with big smile and job creation promises. Immediately the elections are over, such politicians vanish and fly back to their various cities, especially Accra, etc. They describe the people of the land as scarecrows. The separatists are still in the land. The Western Togoland activities are still in the country. Politicians should not keep deceiving any international body that they are on top of our issues. Therefore, the legitimate authority should take this of our statement serious. We appeal to the United Nations, that's General Assembly, and the British, including others, that with this, we are sure that all of you who listen to this release will agree with us that the government of Ghana, the British has no any legal backing whatsoever to tamper with any activities of the West Togolanders in their own countries, and they should also stop their unofficial duty which they continue to execute in the land, because we are capable of taking control over our country and develop it as such. Some reason why some people on Western Togoland must be granted independence. Britain had never supervised nor effected any union between Ghana and Western Togoland. Ghana has been exploiting the resources of Western Togoland to develop itself for the past 68 years. People of Western Togoland have lost their national identity for the past 68 years and have been forced to become Ghanaian by voting. Meanwhile, they always discriminate against us that we are not Ghanaian. The people of Western Togoland are being created as second-class citizens in Ghana, an act which the transition agreement was even against. The people are on their own land, own homeland. Therefore, with independence, all bad treatment will end. 5. East Togoland and West Togoland were two sister states which began their political journey 65 65 years ago, the Eastern Togo was granted independence, but the Western Togoland is still being colonized by Ghana. Because the Eastern Togoland is a sovereign state, it is developing while the Western Togoland's development is starting. Eastern Togoland has national capital, which the Western Togoland has a regional capital. The Eastern Togoland has both international sea and airports, while the Western Togoland has none. The notification letter of Ghana independence from British to United Nations was authoritative and clearly stated that Western Togoland is never part of Ghana. This implies that Ghanaians are not citizens of Western Togoland, whilst Western Togoland are not citizens of Ghana. No government of Ghana can therefore lead the people of Western Togoland to tap any resources from Western Togoland to develop a people. Hence, the people of Western Togoland need their own government to be able to harvest their natural resources for developing themselves according to the transition agreement. You know, there is a consistent reference to the transition agreement, so surely it means that the transition agreement has to come in. 8. Western Togoland is blessed with many resources, yet people have remained poor. Many families today live on less than $2 a day. The people therefore need their own government to be able to harvest their resources to alleviate people from their object poverty. The resources of the land are for improvement of the living standard of the people and not the living standard of politicians and Gold Coast Ghana. Western Togoland is a multi-tribal nation. Despite that, the people count themselves as one people with one destiny. They are very united. They do not discriminate against each other. These people are hard-working farmers who work from sunrise to sunset. The people in the state are non-compatible. These are the caliber of people who form prosperous nations. This independence of the people of Western Togoland is long overdue. The purposes and the objectives of the transition agreement automatically qualify the people of Western Togoland for independence as it is read above. For the foregoing reasons, we are calling on the international communities, the United Nations, AU, the ECOWAS, and all other individual states to strongly support the demand for independence for the people. This is the only way to end the suffering, conflict, discrimination, maltreatment, and the exploitation of this group of people, and to foster peace in Africa and the rest of the world.